Hello and welcome to this Profit Protector Pro video. I hope you're doing well, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can trick other people on your listing into moving their prices up. And obviously the massive benefit to you with doing this is the fact that the overall pricing on the listing moves up. Therefore, when you acquire the buy box, you are bound to acquire it at a higher price. Therefore, it's easier to make sales at the higher price. And then if you still have a bit of room to push the buy box up that bit further to achieve your max, there might be only £1 difference between where the buy box is at and where your max price is at. It's going to be a whole lot easier than working down from a lower price point to then bump that price up. So in effect, this is going to help you potentially make more money. So I'm going to recommend two things to do through this. So on your listing, I would advise using the balance sales accumulator, simply because this strategy is just as sales focused as it is profit focused. So it still has that nice reactivity that you find with the aggressive strategies, but because it also has that bit more of a profit focus, the drive to push that price up will be there a bit more, because as I say, it's split fairly 50-50 in regards to its focus of sales and profit. So it brings you a bit of the best of both worlds with that. You will need that reactivity and you need that bit more of a drive with the profit in order to successfully fulfill what it is I'm telling you in this video. And how exactly are we going to trick the other sellers on the listing? Well, we're going to do that through Profit Protector Pro Sleep Mode, which is this right here. So before we go on to that, just check that the time zones you are in is set correctly. So if you're in the US, you need to make sure it's the right time zone for you. And same with if you're in the UK, EU, just make sure that you have set the correct time zone, so that way everything flows nicely with the sleep mode. Right. So sleep mode, I would liken that to when you're playing Mario Kart and you drive along and you get one of them blocks with a question mark, and it's basically like a superpower. This is that, right? And it has the potential to really help you out massively. So all you need to do is turn this on. If you want to use it, it's not something that you have to use, but I would advise using it if you want to fulfill what it is I'm talking about, to trick the other sellers on the listings that you're on. Set the time when sleep mode will start, set the time when it will start again. So it will enter sleep mode at 1 in the morning and come out of it at 6. So it could be when you actually sleep, or just in general when there's a bit of a quieter period with sales and stuff, because there won't be any harm in trying this out at those points, because if anything, it won't make anything worse. It'll only improve things potentially. So set it in whatever time you feel is quieter, turn it on. Then I would advise turning on this toggle right here, so reset to max price during sleep mode. So basically all of your listings will move up to max price during this sleep mode period. This will trick other sellers on the listing, okay, because if they have reprices as well, they'll see this happen, they'll be like, whoa, and then they may also move their prices up as well. And the idea behind this is, if they do that, then you all start the day at a higher price point on the listing. And as I say, for you, that means that when you acquire the buy box again, and this is why I say use the balance sales accumulator, if you use that, it's got that reactivity to match the buy box and win it. And then because it has a bit more of a profit focus as well, it will work to then drive that price up. If there's anything more it needs to do, because it might be that you start the day, the buy box has been secured, say £1 under the max or something like that, and then it will then work to drive that back up to the max price again. So that's why I say use a strategy like that. You need that reactivity, but you also need a bit of profit drive there as well. And so resetting to max will hopefully convince everyone else to move up with you, and then you start the day at a higher price point, which is a nice thing to wake up to. This include buy box winners toggle is optional. This is, I'd say, high risk, high reward. So if you set it to include buy box winners, this would also include listings that you've already won the buy box on. So again, it's up to you if you want to do this. So anything that currently has the buy box, that will move up to max price. Now, the reason why I say high risk, high reward is because if this moves up to max price when you've got the buy box on that listing, it could potentially mean that you lose the buy box because of that sudden jump. And Amazon might then rotate it around to someone else. Or it may just raise it up to max price and it's successful with doing so. Therefore, you make sales at your max price, which is the best possible scenario. It might not happen on every single listing, but it might happen for some. So ultimately, it's only something that you'll be able to establish once you give it a try, and there's no harm in doing that. Even if you lose the buy box and you come out of sleep mode, the strategy that you've set will work hard to win that buy box again and bump the price up. So it's definitely worth trying. And of course, if you try it and you find it's not for you, then turn it off and just leave sleep mode as it is, like I've got set there. Or if it does work for you, that's great, leave it on. It's going to be different for different scenarios, different sellers and all sorts. So yeah, definitely something to just test out and see for yourself and see how it works best for you. But this is the way that you can trick everyone else on the listing to move their prices up, which is what we want. We want that higher price on the listing. We want to be able to make sales at that higher price. And as I say, using the balanced sales accumulator is going to be the best way to do this. Also, another reason why I recommend this is because as well, if you have if you're using this from an FBA perspective, obviously your main competition will be FBA and Amazon. Any merchant fulfilled sellers, you don't have to worry about as much, but sometimes you can have prominent merchant fulfilled sellers on the listing with you. And if there are any sellers like that, the balanced sales accumulator will factor them into account as well if it really needs to, and reprice against them again only when it really needs to. If you're using this as a merchant fulfilled seller or it's a merchant fulfilled listing, obviously you want to use the merchant fulfilled equivalent, so that way it focuses on that merchant fulfilled competition. So either one of those balanced sales accumulators, depending on the fulfillment method, set that, try sleep mode, and see the fantastic results that it can bring you. Trick those other sellers, use that power block just like in Mario Kart. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you soon.